All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and around the world on the all-new Starcom radio network. If you'd like to give us a call toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. Our email address is onair@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X Zone Radio TV. And our main website where you can listen to the X Zone 724-365 is www.xzoneradiotv.com. My first guest tonight is HELEN REES. As a spiritual and medium of 20 years, HELEN focuses on spiritual healing for mind, body, and soul. She has come to appreciate the importance of bridging the gap between the material and spiritual worlds. Her belief is that all things are possible in the universe. She constantly seeks knowledge, investigate, research, and testing her findings to further her development. She believes we must surrender our ego to work with spirit in order to expand our minds. She works at being kind to people and approach them with a lighthearted attitude. She teaches others not to give in and move forward regardless of life's obstacles. The key to success, according to Helen, is love, and as long as the saying goes, actions speak louder than words. Joining me now from way down under, where it is winter time now, in Australia, right here on the X Zone Radio Show, is my guest this hour, HELEN REES. Helen, welcome back to the X Zone. Great having you with us.
Thanks, Rob. Lovely to be here.
So what's new way down under? You're in the middle of your winter there, or winter's just starting?
Yeah, well, if you want to call it winter. So in Brisbane, where I live, it's very mild.
Right.
So it's just a lovely day today, actually. So a little bit overcast, but nothing too dramatic.
So tell me. What is new in the world of spirituality? Are more and more people becoming aware of spirituality, and are more and more people trying to bridge the gap, as you say?
I believe so. So with all the people that I meet on a regular basis, you get new people coming in, mm-hmm. and they're all seeking the same thing: what to do with their lives, what's their purpose, where are they heading, and what I'm finding is it's a lot of younger people that are coming through.
Right.
And people are and these young people are starting to gain a better understanding that there's more to life than just the material world. Mm-hmm. So it's really very interesting to see all these young people coming up, and actually acknowledging that there's more to life than just earning money or living in a physical way. So it's really, really great to see. And some of the workshops I've been organising lately have been a lot of young people in it. So
really?
It's really great to see that they're picking it up and going with it. So
why do you think it's so important for everyone to get back to the basics in a spiritual aspect? Well,
because sometimes we're so focused on...
Go on, dear.
Sometimes they're so focused on what they're doing in their everyday life, they forget to connect and meditate within themselves. See, I believe you only need to do a meditation for 5 or 10 minutes a day,
right.
and and you can clear your mind, allow yourself to be refreshed and move on. And that's what I'm finding with the younger people that are coming through, to me anyway, is that this is what they're looking for, just some clarity. And I've had a lot of interest. I'm running a workshop on connecting to spirit on a personal level in July, and I've had quite a bit of interest in this. And what I'm finding is the cross-section of age that people are coming together who want to come to do this, because they don't want to be a medium doing readings for other people. Mm-hmm. All they want is to be able to connect and get their own answers. So that's what I feel is getting back to basics, is allowing yourself to start that process of clearing your mind, allowing yourself to be free without leaving those negative thoughts or all the stresses from the day, just allowing yourself to become free.
So tell me, why do you think meditation is so important?
Well, meditation gives you time to reflect. Mm-hmm. So you have to stay within in awareness anyway. You shouldn't be going off very deep unless you're doing trance work. But when it comes to meditation, just normal meditation, when you focus on your breathing and just allowing it, just clears your mind. And then especially when you're a bit stressed or there's things going, especially at work where things are happening all the time, even just going to the bathroom is not
Sure.
a bad way of just taking time out and just clearing your mind in that way. So
stopping to smell the roses, so to speak.
Stopping to smell the roses, and then instead of reacting negatively, mm-hmm. You give yourself the opportunity to respond in a way that's not going to be feel bad on your side. So it'll just allow you to work your way through a clear answer. So reactions is what happens in today's world. Everybody reacts just like that. Mm-hmm. And it's instead of taking the time just to reflect a little before you answer.
You say that cleansing and clearing your aura is important. Number one, why is that important? And number two, how do you do that?
Well, so it's important to do that. The reason that you have to clear and cleanse is because of everything that falls into your aura. Mm-hmm. So that's where illness starts, is in your aura. So if you do that and the simple thing for me is you just, when you're having a shower or something like that, you just focus that intent to clear and cleanse, and it works a treat. So it can be as simple as that, or you can just go into meditation and just allow yourself to think about all your energy centers being cleared and cleansed. So there are many ways to do it, but if you do that, then you're halfway there in not keeping all that negative energy that might be being thrown at you at work, with the pressure that happens, or even if at home, if you've got a lot of pressure on you for different things that are going on in your lives, relationships, etc. It just allows you to reflect. It clears everything, and I just bring a light down, and I let that vortex of light come flowing down through all my aura and my energy centers, and I just let Mother Earth take care of all that negativity, basically.
So in getting back to basics on the spiritual plane, I would imagine that it's very important for us to learn to accept ourselves.
Well, that's the biggest thing. It's the acceptance of self. You have to recognize where you're at the moment, and not compare yourself to everybody else that's around you. Because if we know that, okay, this is what I am right now, then it allows you to look further, to develop yourself in other ways. You might do some training, study. You might do you might even just look at yourself and just say, is this what I need to do to sort that problem out? So yes, so it's accepting yourself. If you accept you as you are and love yourself and like yourself and treat yourself as a good friend, then the way forward is so much easier. If you keep comparing yourself to others and you see how much better other people are, that is just your perception. So the perception is to just be yourself. And then if you're being yourself, you can only move forward and allow yourself to be number one in your life. Really, that's what it's all about.
What about personal integrity? What part does this play in getting back to one?
Well, if you're going to connect to spirit, you have to be pure in mind. Mm-hmm. So integrity is very, very important. You have to have your personal integrity, and your honesty with yourself and with others is really important when you're connecting. So that's basically what I talk about. Integrity is being the best person you are, and in allowing the best aspect of you to come forward at all times. To deal always.
Are you still there, dear? Helen, are you there? Helen, are you there? Well, X-Zone Nation, it seems that we've encountered a small technical glitch. We're going to be trying to reconnect with Helen as we get into this commercial break. This is the X-Zone, and do we have Helen back? Helen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we lost you there for a few minutes. Oh yeah. So if you would be kind enough just to go over the part where personal integrity, because first of all, X-Zone Nation, I apologize for that dropout. We're using Skype, here in Hamilton, way down on the other side of the world in Australia. So I apologize for the technical glitch, but we're back, and that's the main thing. So let's get back to personal integrity when getting back to one.
So personal integrity to me is about being the best person that you can possibly be, being kind to other people, allowing yourself to be honest with yourself and with others, to have the best intentions in whatever you do, because if you allow yourself to be respectful to yourself and to others and to show leadership in this way, then that's how you connect and maintain that connection to spirit.
Gotcha. Does spirit have any religious philosophies, or does this apply to everyone and anyone on this planet?
It applies to anyone on this planet. So religion really doesn't come into it for me in this, because we're talking about the world of spirit, the world of God. And God is many things to many people, I know. But to me, it's about the universe and being one with the universe. If we're one with the universe, then things flow. And that natural law of cause and effect flows naturally then, instead of us trying to keep digging at it and changing it to suit ourselves.
Understood. How about your emotions? How do your emotions come into this equation, and how do we take responsibility for our emotions?
Yeah. Well, I can use an example of being on the road driving, and someone cuts off in front of you, and people's immediate reaction is horns are blowing, everyone's getting angry about it. Instead of us saying, "Oh, he must have been in a hurry, needed to be." Do you see what I mean? So it's taking action for your own self. So if your emotions get out of hand, then your reaction is often negative. You often react in a negative way, and so it's controlling your emotions that's important, because this is why I feel we have so much so many wars and disruptions around the world, even in our everyday life, is because people aren't, instead of saying nothing, they react. And sometimes it's best to say nothing than to react and say and start, perhaps swearing at people or abusing them in some way because that didn't suit you at that time. So we have to reflect on why we get so angry quickly, but really we need to actually stop ourselves from reacting immediately to everything that happens. Because that's why I think there's so much killing around, because the anger that's in people, they're not controlling themselves. They're out of control. The discipline isn't there. And discipline is so important in our lives. We might think that I can do whatever I like, but really you can't do whatever you like. We must be respectful of everybody, including ourselves.
When you are getting ready to communicate with the other side or communicate with spirits, how do you prepare yourself?
Always with a prayer. And then I just sit very quietly and might have some music on sometimes, or I might just sit there just quietly reflecting. And as you just let yourself, as you allow yourself to breathe and you do that deep breathing, it just helps you just calm down, just helps that calming down. So that's how I prepare and getting, and it's sending out that peaceful aura. And that's what I like to do. I like to send out a peaceful energy. And if I can do that, it helps everybody around me to be calm. If I'm agitated, then everybody else is agitated. And we're all human. Sorry, excuse me.
Sure.
We're all human, so we will get agitated from time to time. So that's what I feel about, just getting yourself into a peaceful space and just allowing yourself to meditate.
Now, do you deal with multiple spirits when you're communicating, or is there certain spirits that you develop a relationship with?
Absolutely. So I have 2 or 3. My main guide is a male energy. You might say, what is his name? I don't know.
Right.
But how do I know who he is? I feel his energy. I know when he's around. He has a different, I can only say it's a different feel to the other 2. I have a female energy. And she comes in, and she's a bit more light-hearted. He's very serious, and she's a very light-hearted person. Because they are people on the other side, so it's okay to say that. So it's like you I just feel them. So yeah, and sometimes I get the odd person who just wants to communicate. So might be someone's loved one. Might want to communicate through me.
I've asked a number of mediums this question, and I get different answers. How is it possible for a medium to find out the very specific person that the person who is requesting the information is looking for throughout the vastness of time, space, and the cosmos? How do you hone in on that very one spirit?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that because, see, I I believe that yes, you can. That can happen. I don't doubt that. But for me, that's a very difficult thing because you've got the person in front of you wanting a reading. So obviously you're picking up on their psychic side as well. But to bring someone specifically for them will depend on whether that loved one wants to come forward at that time or not, or if they are able to come forward. So to me, the world of the universe is an amazing thing, and I don't know anything really. The more I learn, the less I know. Mm-hmm. So I finally, the only thing you can do is accept that they're there. And that's what happens. If they're there, they're there for a reason, because right. That person that is coming for a reading to communicate with them needs them greatly. And that's what draws them, is the need of that person. So, if you're not mm-hmm. serious about it, I don't believe you can get anyone to come through. So it's the intent of the readee, if I can right. call them that. Not a real word, but anyway.
It works.
It's the intent of the readee why they are there for a reading. Mm-hmm. And if it is a genuine need, if they're so bereaved and they want just to have that comfort of contact, then it will flow. So it's the intent on both sides of the world. So as a channel, all mm-hmm. you can do is be there and just accept whatever comes through. I always say I cannot guarantee who's going to come through.
You say it's important to be patient with yourself. Why?
Because everybody wants something immediately. Mm-hmm. And the more and unfortunately it doesn't work like that in real life anyway, in the physical life or the spiritual life. In fact, it's worse on the spiritual side. You have to be very patient. You are what you are at the time. Even though you may want to be the greatest, and I wouldn't consider myself to be the greatest medium, but even if you want to be that, mm-hmm. it's about knowing that this is where you are at the moment. You have to develop. You have to continue the meditation. You have to do lots of investigation. You have to read. You have to do all sorts of things in order to expand your mind, to be able to become better at what you want to be. And it works for the physical and the spiritual.
How has your relationship with Spirit enhanced your life?
I've learned a lot of lessons. Mm-hmm. Some of them not so good, but some of them weren't. And it's because if you don't listen, mm-hmm. then the problem you're going to have is 10 times worse than what it should be. So what I've learned is to actually stop and not react. And with that relationship, the more you do that, the easier it is to communicate. And so you get to be friends with them. You get to be, because that's what we have to become friends. And how else can we relate to each other if we're not friends, and to trust each other? So that's basically how you got to keep working on that, and to trust what you're getting. Trust the answers. May not be what you want to hear, but that's what you have to do. You have to trust and go with the flow of it.
Why is it when communicating with the other side that it seems we receive messages in multiple ways? Why is that?
Well, you might receive a message from just someone who's just knocked on your door, mm-hmm. and so it can be physical. And I think there's a joke that's been around for a long time, where someone is praying to God so that they can win the lotto, Tats Lotto or whatever lotto there is out there, and he doesn't do it, and he says, "Please, Lord, I've asked you many times to let me win the lotto." And in the end, the Lord got fed up with this. He says, "You have to buy a ticket." So I think in that itself tells you that you can't just expect to get the answers without doing something. You have to work at receiving the answers. You have to action the answer. You have to make things work yourself. You know, you've got personal responsibility in doing things in that way. So you can get messages in all sorts of ways. It can be just through your mind, through connecting to spirit, through getting a reading, through just connecting with people in general. So you have to be aware of the synchronicity that's around you.
Be aware of the synchronicity around you. That's an important message. You say it's very important to develop yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Why is that?
Because all of those are important in being the best possible you. If physically, we have to look after our bodies. Right. We have to take care of our health. And we had to do that this year. We had a big lesson, my husband and I, on a physical level. Both of us were overweight. And my husband was close to having to have a heart restart because of his weight issues. My daughter came home at Christmas and said, "You two have got to do something about this." So we went on a huge diet. Actually, I'm going to call it a lifestyle change because that's what we actually did. And both of us, Dennis has lost about 22 kilos and I've lost 12 kilos. So what effect that's had is that his heart's really good now. Everything's going well. He's still got weight to lose, but it's not so bad. And for me, because I'm diabetic, it's made me so much more healthier. My diabetes, I'm under the diabetic range, and so it's all about looking after yourself physically. We've been given this body to look after, and most of the time we don't. Sorry.
Are you there?
Yes, sorry, just
okay.
And most of the time we don't look after ourselves. If we drink too much, if we eat too much, if we do things to our bodies that we shouldn't do, like drugs, like all those sorts of things. We have to look after ourselves physically. Mentally, we have to have a clear mind. If we are mentally keeping positive most of the time, we can't do it all the time, but if we can't keep our minds clear, and mentally we can fall into depression. Everything can happen. It's mentally that affects our whole life, really. If we have a clear mind, then we can become whatever we wish to be. Now, we're human. Understanding being human means that we're not perfect in any way. So of course, we have to keep working on this mental attitude. So keeping our mind clear, and just when we have those bad moments, that we clear it quickly and just let it go. Emotionally, I think we touched on, and we have to be emotionally responsible. We can't just blow up just because we feel like it. Mm-hmm. We need to be, and to me, we need to go through a middle ground, a balanced edge. So not too happy, not too sad, but in the middle, showing a balance of both sides, and so that we can way up. Sometimes we're going to be very excited and have wonderful times, and that's okay. And then again, we're going to go through some difficult periods of time if we're grieving, or if something happens financially and it's bad and we can't do anything about it. So, but it's bringing it back to the middle and not allowing those things to affect us as much. And it's really allowing that emotion to flow. Spiritually, well, we should always pray to God. So we should just do our prayers and just linking ourselves with Spirit, to our guides, and to whatever it is needed for us to be. And in our development in that field can only help us with all the rest, the emotion, the mental, and the physical. So the spiritual is the highest, and then we come back down to where we are.
X-Zone Nation, this is the X-Zone. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our affiliates around the world. Helen REES is our special guest, and her website is eventshelenrees.com. That's www.eventshelenrees.com. And we have to take a few minutes for a good pause over here in the X-Zone. And when we come back, we'll continue this fascinating conversation with Helen REES, who is joining us via Skype all the way from Australia. My name is Rob McConnell. And if you'd like to listen to the show 7/24/365 when we're not broadcasting live on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, all you have to do is go to www.xzoneradiotv.com, and you can also listen to the show right there. I'll be back on the other side of these short words from our sponsors. Don't go away.
Like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com. Manifestation is driven by imagination, intent, and passion. In our culture, all three have been distorted and disabled by modern media and exploitation. Re-engage your imagination and your passion by entering into the world of paranormal romance. Kahir O'Donnell takes her readers on an exciting journey into the endless possibilities of loving, passionate, and mutually respectful male-female relationship. Her latest book, The Long Dark Night, features special ops adventure, a daring rescue, a psychic woman from the stars, and a special agent that will die to protect her. The Long Dark Night by Kahira O'Donnell is now available at KahiraO'Donnell.com or Amazon.com. Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologists, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships, not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com, $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. The ability to access the knowledge of the universe is much easier for us to access than we may believe. Brad Johnson, conscious matrix communicator, is one of these unique individuals who is able to access a strong connection to the universal mind. Through his connection, Brad has assisted thousands of clients from all over the world through natural intuitive assistance. The intuitive information received is vast, covering a wide range of subjects. Brad's innate ability includes being able to access one's own universal matrix to help them realize their potential to create a life of profound greatness. One-on-one private sessions with Brad Johnson are available to anyone from around the world. Brad is also a proficiently trained psychic, Akashic Records reader, an online spiritual teacher, founder of his own unique and powerful healing system, Body Regeneration Healing, as well as a professional conscious channeler in communication with his own higher self-consciousness known as Adronis. For more information or to book a service appointment with Brad Johnson, visit his website at www.consciousmatrix.com. That's www.consciousmatrix.com.
The Alien Cosmic Expo will be held in Brantford, Ontario, June 26, 27, 28, and will feature 24 internationally acclaimed experts and researchers of UFOs, crop circles, alien abductions, and much more in this 3-day 2015 summer Canadian event. Experts in the field of extraterrestrials and alien encounters, out-of-body experiences, past life regression, soul reading, psychic, and mediumship will all be presented with professionalism, integrity, and credibility, making the Alien Cosmic Expo the largest event of its kind in Canada for 2015. The exhibitor hall will feature a spectacular lineup of gifted mediums, psychics, astrologers, channelers, aura photography, healers, as well as books, DVDs, alternative health products, crystals, jewelry, and much more, completing the venue with something for everyone. For all information and to purchase your tickets for the Alien Cosmic Expo, go to www.aliencosmicexpo.com. That's www.aliencosmicexpo.com.
Hi, this is Eric Rawls of Cosmoverse.com, and you're listening to Rob McConnell in the X Zone.
Hi, this is Blade Runner, and you are listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, I'm Laura Sabrin of Feast to Fields Organic Vineyard in Jordan, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, my name is Lady Ashley, the White Witch of Niagara-on-the-Lake, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal talk radio show, The X Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Welcome to The X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Helen Rees is my guest this hour. www.helenrees.com. First of all, Helen, great having you with us tonight. Now, I understand that you're planning some courses, and you were telling me the reason why, and could you share the reasons with our listener? Because I'm sure they'd be very interested to hear why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay, thanks, Rob. There are many workshops that you can do. There's great lot of workshops that are fantastic to do. Mm-hmm. But what I felt was lacking was that for the person who wanted to be able to connect to spirit, but not have necessarily be a medium or be anything, but they just want to be able to get messages for themselves so that they can find their own answers without having to worry about it all the time. So and to learn to start trusting themselves when they get their answers. So what I decided to do with my daughter, actually, Julie, she and I are going to run this course together from my perspective, right, and from her perspective, and what it's going to do is be able to give people an understanding of what they have to do in order to connect to spirit for themselves, and to do that, I've got a whole series of things that. We're going to do workbooks and all sorts of things. They're going to have to work at it so that they know that they're going to, at the end of it, when they start practicing all of these things, they'll be able to get to be able to receive the message for themselves. Because not everybody wants to be a medium. Not everyone wants to be like any psychic side of things. They just want to be able to look after themselves. And that's what I'm encouraging. I'm always encouraging people to be responsible for themselves, because going and having readings all the time isn't going to achieve anything for them unless they take action for themselves. And so that's what these workshop series I'm going to do is about. And so and most of them will be the same, basically will be the same thing, except that they have to keep practicing, and because people forget to practice in their busy lives. So that's why I will do 2 or 3 of these workshops for them, just to give them that added confidence that they can do it. Mm-hmm. Everyone is capable of capable of connecting to spirit. Everybody. Just sometimes we forget that. We think we have to rely on everybody else. So yes, it's quite a big thing. We'll be talking about integrity, intent, cleansing and clearing your aura, grounding yourself, meditation, opening to spirit, relationship with spirit, being ready to receive, your acceptance of yourself, messages. We're going to do a thing called timing and dating. So if you want answers, that's what. So that'll be a very psychic thing, but it's sometimes very important to people. And the most important thing is shutting down. So shutting down to me is you can't be walking around with yourself open to all and sundry in the spirit world, because what that does, it creates a problem. You can end up with attachments you don't need or want, and other people physically around you are going to feel everything that they're feeling. And so that it affects you on a personal level. So shutting down is, to me, one of the most important things that people have to learn to do. You can't be in the ethos all the time.
Sure. I would just like to remind all our listeners that this is the X-Zone Radio Show. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and around the world on the Starcom radio network. Helen REES is our special guest, and I love her tagline, X-Zone Nation. Here it is. Love and laughter is vital to living a successful life. And that is so true. It's so plain, it's so simple, and yet it is so true. And I want to thank you for that little line, because I'm going to use it if you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
Of course, I'll give you full credit for it.
Thank you.
You and I have been doing the show. We've done the show a number of times. As I said to you off air, I love having you on. I love your honesty, and you reek, in a good way, of integrity.
Well, I have to practice what I preach.
But not many people, and if you'll excuse me for being this blunt, not many people who are, and I'm putting my little fingers up here in quotation marks, who claim to be mediums, channelers, or psychics, in my opinion, are not very ethical. And they do not practice what they preach. What I have seen in the majority of cases are they're just looking for the fast, quick buck, and they'll tell you anything that they can in order to get your money. And yet, when I talk to you, as I have over the number of shows we've done together, that is not the feeling I get. And I've received emails from people who have contacted you, and they concur with me that you are the real McCoy.
Oh, thank you. To be honest, I don't even I don't even often charge for readings anyway. So to me, it's not about that. Mm-hmm. To me, it's about being true to yourself. I mean, obviously, I will charge, but if I feel someone can't afford it, I'm just going to do it for them. Do you know? Yeah. So, and it's because it will come back to me anyway.
Sure.
Everything comes back to you. So whatever you do, if you're true to being who you are, everyone says to me, Helen, you need to make more money. Stop doing it for nothing. Everyone thinks that it takes you for granted. But, in the end, it doesn't matter to me. I would like more money. Everyone likes more money, don't they? So, but it's not as important to me now, and I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, as it was when I was younger. So I guess age has something to do with learning lessons, hasn't it? So.
That is so true. That is so true. It's my wife's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Thank you all. I will certainly relay that to her later on. But we were talking at supper, and, women have a different way of looking at birthdays than men do. You see, I'm 60. I feel as if I'm 35. I am using my past experiences to create a better presence so that I can take care of many people in the future. My wife, God bless her, thinks that she's getting older and that she looks at the past a lot now. She'll say, do you remember when we did this? Do you remember when we did that? My mother's 89, and that's how she talks. And I keep on telling my mother, hey, stop thinking like that, or else your memories of the past, the bad memories, are going to be helping you put yourself in the grave. Think positive. because I believe in karma. What goes around comes around, and paybacks are a bitch.
Absolutely.
You know, so surround yourself with positive feelings, positive thoughts, the bright light, and proceed, because then you can not only help yourself but help other people to make themselves live in a more positive mode. You know, you can help more people out, and this is what I see you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's what I encourage, really, to be the best that they can be. It's not, because I'm always having a go at everybody around me when they go into their nostalgic mode, as I call it.
Right.
I call it the nostalgic mode, where they keep going back to the past and thinking, look, we did this and we did that. And I say, God, you are always thinking in the past. Stop it. So I'm like you, Rob. I'm not quite like most women, I guess, if that's the case.
Well, I think that it's good to learn from the past. Learn from your mistakes. Learn how you can make things better. Because unless you fail, you cannot succeed.
Oh, that's for sure.
Failure is a part of the learning process. Failure is what gives us strength. Failure is what gives us wisdom. Because if you want to find out what you did wrong so it doesn't happen again, you'll learn. You'll go back and you'll say, well, what did I do? Was it A, B, C, D, or E, F, and G? Wait a minute, I forgot a few alphabets here. So you regather your thoughts and you go ahead. And I don't know anyone on this planet who hasn't had failures. I really don't. Even Jesus Christ himself had failures. God's had plenty of failures. Look at us, for example.
But it's fun, though.
It's
all about having fun with it,
It's all about...
And not taking life too seriously. So.
It's all about being able to get up from that mistake, brush yourself off, and say, well then, that wasn't very smart, was it? And try it again.
I've done that a few times.
Haven't we all? And that's how we learn.
Yes. Learning our lessons and not repeating them, because that's what happens sometimes. If you don't learn the lesson, you have to repeat them, and that's not much fun.
Exactly. Listen, as always, time goes by so fast when I'm with you. What is your message for the X-Zone Nation tonight?
All right. So I might just stop. Let me reflect for a minute, for a second, because I'll just see what message comes through.
Oh, and say hi to the spirits for me.
So in all things that are important to life, remember to be yourself, to be the best person that you can possibly be in all manners, in all aspects of your life. May you all enjoy the experience of your earthly journey until you cross over to join us on this side of the world. Great blessings to you all.
And great blessings to you, Helen, and to the spirit world. And once again, thank you so much for joining us. Let our listeners know how they can find out more about you and how they can contact you if they've been enlightened by our conversation this hour. Helen, are you there? Wow. I guess Helen has left the building. Isn't that what happened with Elvis? He kind of left the building. Whoops, wait a second here. We've got Helen back. Helen, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back with you.
Where did you go? Were you abducted by aliens, or did the spirits keep you on hold for us?
I was just laughing because I went into trance then, and the message came through, and I thought, oh, it's gone. We've gone off the air.
No, we didn't go off the air. I was just telling the Exo Nation that, I was just going to give them your contact information. So why don't you do that for me?
Okay. Oh, well, so you can contact me on Helen at Events Helen Rees. So that's EVENTSHELENRWS.com. That's my email address if you wish to contact me. Or you can contact me on Skype, HelenR28. And just check out my website for any upcoming events that we're going to have. We've got some things happening in the future, but we haven't really organised them quite yet, but we're getting there. And it's www.eventshelenrees.com.
Helen Rees, take care of yourself, sweetheart. Please give my very best to your husband, and congratulations with the new addition to your family.
Thank you.
I look forward to the next time.
Rob.
I look forward to the next time we meet back here in the X Zone. Until then, be safe.
Thank you very much, Rob.
Bye-bye.
Best to all.
Thank you. What a sweetheart. Helen Rees has been my guest this hour. We're going to take a short pause for a good cause here at the top of the hour. When I come back, more X Zone from our broadcast center here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the Starcom Radio Network. Don't forget to check out my friend Ed Till Monday through Friday from 9 p.m. until 5 p.m. exclusively on Starcom. My name is Rob McConnell. We'll be back on the other side of the top of the hour. Don't go away.